Hi, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Craig. This is where myself, as a psychic, talk about all things topical. And today I'm going to talk about Nigel Farage. So, welcome to Coffee with Craig. Well, hi again, and welcome to the show. Today, I want to talk a little bit about Nigel Farage. Those of you in America might not remember him. You may have seen him at a Trump rally, but Nigel Farage is the guy the politician who pretty much single-handedly gave us Brexit. He opened up the UKIP party, the UK Independence Party, and has been quite a powerful force in British politics for a long time. Many see him as a very divisive figure because they consider him very right-wing, which nowadays I think right-wing is more middle ground, really, but because the left has gone so far left. So people have asked me about Nigel Farage, and I thought I'd make just a few little predictions about him today. And this is only kind of a short little video for you, really, because he's become very topical at the moment because he's on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. That's the one in which they put people in the jungle in Australia and put them through an endurance test to see how far they can survive. And the one that survives the longest is the one that wins. So if you haven't seen that, you might have a similar equivalent in America. I don't know really. So I spoke about Nigel Farage a number of times actually in the past, and I have given some readings to people that know him, and I believe he does watch this show from time to time. So yeah, good on you. Got a good taste. But I said right back at the time of Brexit, when I predicted that Brexit would happen, and that was the time, and everybody said no chance, absolutely no chance it's going to happen, and it did. The vote went right way, I think, and we ended up with leaving Europe. But I said at that time, and I've said quite a few times since, I've said that Nigel Farage will rejoin the Tory party, the Conservative Party. He was in the Conservatives, I believe, right back in the 70s, something like 79, end of the 70s. I think he was in the Conservative Party, and then he broke away from them. And I've said for a long time, and I've said it repeatedly, that Nigel Farage will rejoin the Conservative Party. And it seems, for a long time, he said no chance. He said no chance. In many respects, he's the right wing side of equivalent of what Jeremy Corbyn was Jeremy Corbyn, wasn't he? He was all a great protest, but actually can't deliver policies. Similarly, I think Nigel Farage is a bit like that. He's a protester. He condemns everybody. He works by attack, actually, his attitude. And I felt that he would but it seems like now he's going to get a bit of more of a chance at it. He's even started to hint at it back in October. He started to hint at the fact that he might rejoin the Conservative. He said, one day by 2026, I think he said, I'll be the leader of the Conservative Party. He was saying it as a humorous quip, because the Conservatives were falling apart. But he'd always denied that he would ever become a Tory, join the Tories again. But it looks like he might do now. So is my prediction coming true? What do you think? Do you think he will be? Do you think he'd make a good leader of the Conservative Party, or would he make a good Conservative MP? You see, when you look at him, his astrology, he's an Aries. He was born on the 3rd of April, 1964. So that makes him 59 years old. I made a note down there just in case I forget. So when he's got an ascendant of Virgo in his chart as well, and although those are only the most simplistic of things to tell a person's astrology, it does mean we've got here a person who is doggedly determined, particularly with the Virgo ascendant, because he's a person that is precise, definite, clear-headed with that, and almost a precision can come with that. Linked with the Aries energy, the leader of the pack sort of energy that comes from Aries. He's a guy that's never, ever, ever going to give up. And that's what he's shown himself to be, hasn't he? So I was saying earlier on in my predictions, you remember, you saw my 2024 predictions, which will pop up at the end of this video if you haven't seen them. I was saying that the Tory party, I said, I don't see Rishi Sunak being the next prime minister, because they're either going to lose the election, but my feeling is that something's going to happen beforehand. It's going to be neck and neck with the British elections. And it's going to get so neck and neck that I feel that the Tory party is going to cave in on itself again. We're going to get another rebellion within the Tory party that is going to completely upset things, and we'll see the kicking out of Rishi Sunak. That's what I feel that's going to happen. We're going to see that happen. Now, when that happens, the party will, I feel, swing much more to the right. Although this right and left business is a bit nonsensical, I think, nowadays. But it's going to go what the newspapers would call swing to the right, to the side of people like Suella, Braverman and Priti, Patel, who have a very strong anti-immigration attitude. And I think at that time that Nigel Farage might be invited back into the party. I can't see him as leader of the Tories, but I excuse me, but I do feel he's going to come back into the Conservative Party, and this will be very, very divisive. It may lose a lot of some voters, but I think it will polarize the politics a bit more, and by that polarization of politics, people will know what they're voting for. And just as the people voted for Brexit, I think many people will vote for an anti-immigration policy. I think many people will be keen to be anti the big corporate companies, as Farage has shown with his attack on the banks, for example. And I think a lot of people will start looking more at the man and see him as not such a pariah as they thought he was in the past. For example, although initially there's been a 2 million drop in viewership on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, those are the people who hate him from the beginning, won't even consider looking at the man or seeing him as any force in politics. They see him as horrible. That's it. End of story. We're not gonna deal with a guy like that. I'm switching off. They're the left-wing Alf Garnets of the world. They've just already got their mind closed to things. But actually, he's coming across on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here as some are calling him a bit of a chilled dude. Some of the younger people, because he you can see the man is determined, and his determination will get him to eat those foul pizzas and so forth that were in the episode last night. So other than just boycotting, I think people may actually many other people might start to say this man is actually quite an interesting person and not as bad as people think. I mean, I can't reveal anything about people I've given readings for, but I was told that, that behind the scenes, when he had that airplane accident, it was a transformative moment for him. It was for Nigel Farage, it was like a near-death experience, because he came so close to death, although he didn't have an out-of-body near-death experience. It was such a shock that it triggered in him a desire to really do something. It triggered in him a sort of a bit like the way many people have had that turning point. Hitler had one, didn't he, in the trenches? But I don't think it's quite the same as that. But there was that sort of turning point in one's life where you feel that destiny has given you a special task. So that determination became on steroids after his brush with death there. So Kenny, so what am I seeing? I see the Tory party introducing David Cameron, the worst possible thing they could possibly do at this particular point in time, because he's a lefty. He's a person that was pro-Europe. He's a person that all we can remember from him, really, I think most people will remember him as somebody that didn't deliver the goods, and was just like Rishi Sunak, always jousting to see, looking out for the best for himself all the time, and looking after themselves in politics, doing deals that shouldn't have been done, just doing deals with the Liberals to stay in power and things like that. I think people got fed up with all that type of politics. Rishi Sunak's doing that type of politics now, in my opinion. So I'm seeing the Conservatives caving in. Now, this is partly my opinion, I guess, here, for what I'm saying here. But this is what I've been seeing. I saw such a long while ago. I saw Farage coming back into politics, and into, mainstream politics. He's not only is he he's an Aries, like I say, with an ascendant Virgo, but he's also a dragon in the Chinese politics too. So that dragons tend to achieve very, very high. So yes, there's my prediction. He'll be back in the Tory party, and I think he'll be back before 2026, as he joked. I think he'll be back quite soon, and I think before the next election. So that means in 2024. And I think his interactions with people like Nella Rose on I'm a Celebrity won't do him any harm. People will see that he can get on with people like any normal person, and he might, I think, in fact, I will say, I feel he will win I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I'm putting my money on it. Now, that might be me. I can't tell because my thoughts get in the way with this type of thing. So it's not a prediction in the normal sense, I suppose. But I'm going to stick my neck out and say I predict that he's going to win I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. All right. Thanks for joining me. See you soon, guys. Bye for now. Oh, and don't put, what's your opinion of Nigel Farage? Is he a monster, or is he a possible saviour for the Conservative Party? Are his views on Brexit right or wrong? Are his views on immigration? What do you think? Is he given the right sort of solutions, or should we be much more middle of the way with things and be much more tolerant? Is he a force for good or a force for bad? Let's have your opinions. And what do you think will happen to him in the future? What's his future? We've got lots of psychics that join us here, lots of astrologers that join us. Put your comments in the comments below as well. Okay, thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye for now. I'm just going to click the link. Hold on. I can't find my exit button. Okay, that'll do. Bye for now.
They're the real deal, and they're really sweet. Like, you can tell they come from a place of love, which is very endearing.
I know. You know, charlatan, and especially in Los Angeles, when you're meeting shady people, these guys are the real deal, no doubt. Yeah.
Everything about the reading was just spot on, down to the colour. She gave the colour blue, which was very prominent because we wore blue to the funeral, and it was his favourite colour. So I've seen a lot of mediums before. I was very impressed with them.
Very, very good connection. I couldn't believe the connection I got tonight.
We're definitely talking to our loved ones.
Mm-hmm. He said about the photograph, well, I had all them, and he said to me, you've got that in your bag. And I did. I had everything in my bag, they said. When I went outside for a break, and I said to Carol, they know things that nobody else knows.
Now, where was I up the back there?
She was spot on. Everything was right. It all meant a lot to me. She had my father's name, everything, things about my brother. There's been problems with my brother, and I'm so glad to hear of them both. My father, he was doing this. I'm just glad he's friends with me, because things happened. It's all just a bit emotional.